Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744, and today, guys, we're doing an emergency video. Buckle up and enjoy. So, in this emergency video, guys, we're going to discuss about United States eliminated from the Concacaf Nations League. Now, in hindsight, when you look at this, when you just hear these words, eliminate the CONCACAF Nations League, okay, you're thinking to yourself, okay, it's okay. You lose in the final to either Canada or Mexico. It sucks, but, it's not humiliation. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and, three in a row is still a very good achievement. But here's the thing, guys. We didn't make the final of the CONCACAF Nations League. See, if we had made the final of the CONCACAF Nations League, and let's say supposedly we lose the final to either Canada or Mexico, even as host country, then yeah, it's bad and it's not great, but it's not humiliating. I'm sorry, with all due respect, losing to Panama is embarrassing. It is disgraceful. I mean, just look at the country size for crying out loud. And look at the infrastructure. Look at the amount of money that we can generate revenue. It's just not comparable. And this is the beauty of football is that just because you're an inferior team doesn't mean that you're automatically going to lose. We're living in a world now where the top nations of the world, like Brazil, like Italy, are not even at the peak anymore. They're not amongst the best nations of the world. You know, we're living in a very strange football world right now. And we're also probably living in a world where the United States is not the best CONCACAF nation right now. I would actually say right now the best CONCACAF nation right now is probably Canada. I mean, look what Canada did in the last Copa America. They made it to the semifinals. They were phenomenal. They defeated Chile. Sorry, they got a draw against Chile. They defeated Peru. They defeated Venezuela and gave very respectable games against Argentina and Uruguay. Not to mention that United States, we got grouped at our own home turf against Panama. This has happened yet again, guys. And it's just mind-boggling to me that how will we allow this to happen again? I didn't think I would have to do this again, guys. I thought the Copa America exit to Panama was already bad enough. I thought that was the lowest of the lows. But this is even a bigger low because to not even reach the CONCACAF Nations League final as host country is bad. Now, I still think getting grouped to Copa America is still bad. And I mean, it's still probably worse, but this is just as bad. You could even argue maybe worse. So let's discuss, guys. So coming into this game, obviously we had a lot of injuries coming into this game. Obviously Anthony Robinson wasn't available. Obviously Cardoso wasn't available. Sergio Dest wasn't available. Obviously Balogun wasn't available. Pepe wasn't available. There was a lot of injuries. But even with the injuries, keep in mind, we still have a very good team. Our team is still very good. And the truth be told is that we shouldn't be relying on injured players to beat Panama. And if you are, that looks bad on you because look at the amount of players you've got. You still got McKinney there, you still got Pulisic there, you still got Gio Reyna there, you still have Chris Richards there, Cameron Carter Vickers, etc. You have so many quality players that you shouldn't have to feel the presence of those injured players. Obviously, it's a blow. I'm not saying it's not a blow. Obviously, in an ideal situation, it is a blow. But it shouldn't get to a stage where, oh, if you don't have those players, you're screwed. It shouldn't come to that, right? And I remember coming into this camp, guys. The fact that we didn't have our strikers, Pepe and Balogun, was a huge blow because I knew that starter wasn't going to deliver. I knew that guy isn't going to deliver, guys, because that guy is about as mediocre as it can get. He's good club wise for Norwich, but when it comes to the national team, he's about as useless as it can get. And these are players I hate. They're always good for the club team, but then they always beg, like, I don't get a lot of game time with the national team. Well, whenever you do get game time, you're about as useful as not playing. So that's my issue with this United States is that I feel like there was a sense of arrogance coming into this game. And I'm going to go into your Poch because I remember a few days before this game, you were saying that, oh, United States, we're capable of winning the World Cup. We can do this, man, and do this, all that. And and fair enough. You have the belief to win the World Cup. That's a great belief. Every country that participates in a World Cup should have the aim to win the World Cup, even if it's unrealistic. Because at the end of the day, you want to go as far as you can. And obviously, the aim is to go to win it, right? And even if it's unrealistic, you still want to aim to win it. But you shouldn't have to like verbatimly say it out loud. That should already be implied. We shouldn't have to hear it coming from you. And when you say those kind of words, it makes you look arrogant. It makes you think, oh, I'm too good for everyone. It kind of looks in that kind of sense. And it looks really bad. Because I remember this was being happening. And remember, guys, I mean, and the lead up to this, guys, the World Cup. We're here in a halftime show. 2026, Coldplay is going to play in it. Donald Trump and Fatuna have been working around and doing this kind of stuff. And instead of focusing like on those kind of stuff off the pitch. Why don't you focus on the pitch? Like this is more important, guys. Because at the end of the day, you could all do the beauty work in the stadiums and make it all nice, but you got to work on the team itself. The team itself is more important, and honestly, the team should be more important than the halftime show and the words that you say. You know, and that's what really annoyed me on the day. And you know, what was also really baffling. I look at the game. I watched the game today, guys. The stadium was empty. I hardly saw many people there. It was like empty. I was like, what the heck? This is in California, SoFi Stadium. California is like one of the biggest states in the country, and the stadium felt empty and dead. I was like, what? It's ridiculous. And obviously, I know why it's dead because obviously the prices are pretty high, and obviously, United States have their own thing where they want to insanely charge the stadium tickets to where it's like you can get in and they can make money, but obviously most common people aren't going to pay that kind of money because it's too expensive. I understand from a marketing perspective, but if you actually think from a marketing perspective, wouldn't it be better just to lower the prices, make it affordable tickets so you can get more people to join? The United States, take note there. But anyways, getting back to the game here, man. United States, man, we had chances. We had 12 shots, 5 on target. But the truth be told is that even though we had 5 shots on target and we had 60% possession, we didn't really create many good opportunities. I think there was only like one or maybe two big chances Mosquera made to save, and it was like a finger tape save. The rest of the other saves were just straight at the keeper or was off target. That's worrying to me, right? And Panama, with their one shot on target they got at the very end, with Waterman scoring the goal there, was enough for them to get the win. And it just shows how much Panama have improved under Thomas Christensen because he has been the reason why Panama are at this position. Like without him as coach, Panama do not do this. They do not make the Copa America knockout stage. They do not be one of the favorites to qualify for the World Cup from Concacaf, not of the host nations. Because in my opinion, guys, Panama is the fourth best national team right now in Concacaf, the best national team that's not going to be the host of the World Cup. That shows how good they are. And you have to give credit to the players like Carrasquillo, Waterman, Mosquera, and everything. It's a very well organized team, very well coached team. There's not a lot of superstars in the team, and they played so well defensively. And it made United States very frustrating because United States couldn't break down the low block. And we were playing the 4-2-3-1 that was supposed to be expansive, but in reality, it wasn't really working. And this is where I also have to call out Pochettino on this. Why did you not bring out Gio Reyna? Gio Reyna is one of our most talented players on this team. He is such an enigma, such a talented player, and you're not bringing him on is ridiculous to me because I just feel like for me, his presence is so talented. We saw in the last edition of the Concacaf Nations League semifinals. Remember, guys, we were playing against Jamaica. We conceded a first-minute goal at home, and guess who changed the game for us? Gio Reyna came off the bench, helped made an impact, and we saw what happened with his impact off the bench. So why did you bring him on? It's ridiculous to me. And I'm going to say something very controversial here. You guys may be surprised when saying this. I do believe, in terms of talent, I do believe Girena is more talented than Christian Pulisic. Now, is he is he going to be a better player than Christian Pulisic? Probably not, because obviously Christian Pulisic is a bigger household name. He's more popular. He's more well known. He's not as injury prone as Girena. But the truth be told is that when you look at talent, just talent, I think Girena has more to his game. He's got the vision, got the dribbling, got the IQ and everything. Now, I'm not saying Christian Pulisic's stupid, obviously, he isn't. But I just don't think Pulisic's as technically skilled as Girena, obviously. You know? And that's the thing. So for United States, man, it's another embarrassing L. We lose to Panama again, and I think it's fair to say, guys, that Panama own us. Panama own the United States, and we have to simply accept that they're our bogey team, they're our owners, and yeah, we are yet to beat Panama in a competitive game. Like the last time we beat Panama in a competitive game, guys, was the 2002 World Cup, 22 World Cup qualifiers, and the game which happened in Florida, I believe, which we won 5-1. Like since then, we've taken a lot of L's. We've lost to them in the World Cup qualifiers, we lost to them in Copa America, and now we lost to them Gold Cup as well. Who can forget that? And now we lost to them here in the Nations League semifinals. So at least we're going to have a different winner. We're not going to have the United States do it. We're going to have a different winner. We are not going to be able to do our four-peat. And it makes the Gold Cup now put us a higher priority for the United States because now we got to win the Gold Cup this summer. Because I'm sorry, we criticize Greg for not delivering. Well, criticize Greg all you will. He's at least got silverware. He's got 4 trophies. Poch, you got to get at least one trophy. You know, like that's the standard that we set. And so the standard, the expectation was to win the Nations League. Since Greg did that, right? And you couldn't even get to the final. Looks bad. And looking ahead, guys, we got Canada versus Mexico tonight. I expect Canada to triumph there. Canada should beat Mexico. And we're gonna get Canada. Hopefully, we get a Canada versus Panama final, which is a great final because neither of these teams have won a trophy for so long. But who knows? Mexico can definitely do it. And whichever team comes out of Canada, Mexico will definitely be favorites for the final. So best of luck to either of those countries. They're playing tonight, and I'm hoping for my sake, as an American, of course, I hope Canada prevail. I hope Canada prevail. But like I said, man, congratulations to Panama. They fully deserve to make the final. And for the United States, man, a lot of things have to change because for the United States, man, we better do well at the World Cup because our World Cup is super important as host nations, and we cannot embarrass ourselves. And for me, the bare minimum for the United States is a quarterfinal appearance. As a host country, that should be the expectation. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.